Hello everybody, my name is Dusk and welcome to another episode of Talon's Video Guide. In this guide we're going to go over just how exactly the artisans and merchants work in Diablo 3. And so one of the big changes from Diablo 2 to Diablo 3 is that merchants and artisans, aka blacksmiths, are actually different things. So as you can see, in a merchant they're going to sell your weapons, your armor, and they can also repair your items. You really don't need to worry about that in the earlier levels, but basically you're going to be able to do these things. You can also buy back any items you've sold to them. And so the main purpose, I've always found that these items are pretty crappy. Actually, this one does look pretty good, but you're going to be able to find every single item you need just from adventuring, and I think it's also a lot more fun to, and rewarding actually, just to find your item instead of buying one. But either way it works. And so what I usually do with these merchants is there's going to be a few around town. First of all, there's one here, and then there's another one up there. And so what I usually do is I just go to these merchants, and then any really normal item, such as like just a non-blue item, so a normal item, I just sell. And so all you do is right click and you sell it. It's a lot more streamlined feature. And so during adventuring, I really don't pick up any crude items, you know, those items that show up in gray if you hold down Alt. I mostly just pick up blue items. As you can see, that sword there was only 5 gold, and so I try not to pick up any of the normal items either. And so what you basically want to do is try to pick up as much blue items, yellow items, or set or unique items as possible. And then any items you accidentally pick up, you can go ahead and just keep those. You don't have to actually just go and purposely drop them. And so in this is the artisan. He's a blacksmith, and one of the new things in Diablo 3 is that you can actually upgrade your artisan. And so what that basically means is you invest gold into your artisan. This guy's a blacksmith, so he's going to be able to make me armor and weapons, and when you upgrade them, it's going to allow them to basically make better weapons for you. And so as you can see, training costs 2,000, and I have 2,000, so I'm going to do it. And I basically was able to make this Apprentice Flamberg now. I can't use it right now, but I can actually craft it whenever I want. And these it says 2 magical properties. These magical properties they reset every time you do it, and so if you have enough materials, you can essentially keep rolling the die for these magical properties, and hopefully eventually you'll actually get a good item. And so one of the also new things in Diablo 3 is that this blacksmith or artisan that we have in this town is actually persistent. It's persistent across all your characters, so basically as you play Diablo 3, that account is going to have a persistent blacksmith, and so you can always invest money in here. It's not just tied to one character, it's for all of your characters, and so that's one of the better things about Diablo 3. But one of the weird things that I found that may or may not be changed in the future is that your rewards for your training, so when you upgrade, they are not actually consistent. I think they're random based on just based on luck. The definition of random. And so sometimes you actually get blue or rare items, like you know, like if you can get these are magical. Rare items have a little bit more properties, and they're basically better, and you can actually craft those consistently, and so you can just keep rolling for rare items, and those are a lot better. And sometimes you don't even get items that I can actually use. You get a lot of, like, let's say you have a barbarian, you get a demon hunter item, and so that's something I found weird. For example, if they like if you got an axe, for example, that had a required level of 8 so I can use it, and it was rare, it'd be super useful, because you could just keep, you know, crafting it over and over again until you get a set of properties you really like. And so how you actually make these things is first of all, it uses 2 things, subtle essence or fallen tooth. You get subtle essence by salvaging normal magic items, which is why it's important to pick up every single magic item you can. And so we put a magic item here, and we salvage it, and we actually got a fallen tooth out of it, but usually you get a subtle essence only. So let's see, this is a broadsword or broad axe that I previously used. I salvage it, and I get a subtle essence out of it. And so as you can see, my subtle essence is increasing, my fallen tooth is increasing, and now I have this crossbow. Now in Diablo 3, your stash is also shared between all your characters, so I could actually put this crossbow in my stash and give it to my demon hunter character if I had one, and when she comes in, she can be able to just go ahead and just use it directly from here when she fulfills the level requirement. You can also upgrade your stash because this costs gold, which is nice. And so what I'm going to do is actually salvage it, and I'm going to see if I can get a if you salvage a blue, or a yellow item, you're basically guaranteed to get a fallen tooth. So let's see here. Yes. And I got a Fallen Tooth and a Subtle Essence. Fallen Tooth, obviously, because you get it from salvaging rare weapons, and there's a really low chance I'd be getting it from salvaging magic items, they're really useful for crafting rare armor. And so we have another leather gloves that I'm basically not going to use. And so one of the cool things about Diablo 3 is that if you have, it lets you compare items really easily. So I can mouse over these leather gloves and it automatically shows mine on the left and the equipped on the right. And so in the beginning I'm just trying to maximize armor, so I don't really need this, and I'm gonna sell it. And so that's, you guys should just keep in mind that you want to pick up all the blue items as possible, and obviously pick up all the rare items as possible. And also keep in mind that in a party system, each person gets their own drops, and so you don't have to worry about trying to leave items for your friend. You just pick up everything you possibly can, as much as you can. It's going to be a lot easier as a melee character such as Barbarian or Monk, but either way, you can still do everything. And then, you know, crafting these items, they cost both gold and subtle essence, so it's really nice to have a large amount of subtle essence. Ideally, what you want to do is basically put all your Fallen Tooth and subtle essences in your stash, and then every single character of yours can actually take from the stash and use as needed. So it also helps you free up some space in your inventory room as well. My name is Dusk. If you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to leave in the section below, but otherwise I will see you